13 years ago, I arrived in Canada as a student, full of hopes and dreams and aspirations, and I'm excited to announce that earlier this month, I finally became a Canadian citizen. The journey wasn't always easy, and if you're on your citizenship journey, this video is for you. Today, I'm breaking down my experience and sharing essential tips so that your application process is as smooth as possible. Let's dive in. Throughout the years, I've learned some of the ins and outs regarding immigration policies and deadlines, and most importantly, the citizenship process. My journey started out as a student, and after graduating, I transitioned into a work permit, and then after that, permanent residency, and finally, citizenship. Regardless of how your journey began, the citizenship process is going to be similar for all of us. So here's my 10-step guide to help make your citizenship journey as smooth as possible. And stick around because later in the video, I'm going to be giving you a breakdown of my timeline so you have an idea of how long the citizenship process can take. First things first, are you eligible? To be eligible to apply for Canadian citizenship, you have to have been a resident of Canada and lived within Canada for 1,095 days within the last 5 years. 1,095 days works out to 3 years. Make sure you use the official physical presence calculator to calculate the number of days you've lived within Canada. It's a simple tool which you can access online, and before they give you the number of days, they'll ask you a few simple questions like, what date did you receive your PR, and have you traveled outside of Canada within the last 5 years? They'll take all those dates that you input into account, and they will return to you the number of days that you are eligible for. And once you have that number of days, if it's over 1095, then you're good. If it's less than, at least you know how many more days you need to wait before you can apply. After calculating your physical presence and establishing that you are eligible to apply, you can either apply online or send in a paper application. I would highly advise you use the online application because it's so much easier to track your application that way. Before submitting your application, make sure you double check and triple check it. You don't want to make any mistakes on that application because those can lead to some serious delays in your processing times. Before you can submit your application, it's important to note that there's a $630 application fee currently attached to the application. By the time you're making your application, that fee may have changed, but it needs to be paid before you can submit the application. Once you've paid the fee, they'll send you an official receipt which you're going to attach to the application when you send it through. Once you've submitted the application, make sure you're constantly checking your emails. The IRCC is going to be sending you correspondence via email, and if you miss that email, or if it goes to junk, or if it goes to your spam folder, you're going to miss out on some important dates. And again, that's going to lead to delays in your application. So make sure you're constantly checking your emails so that you don't miss a beat. Once your application has been reviewed, if you fall between the ages of 18 to 54, the next thing is a citizenship test. The citizenship test is 20 multiple choice questions that need to be answered in 30 minutes, and they're all based on the Discover Canada guide. All the questions are going to come right out of this book. And to pass the test, you need to get 15 out of the 20 questions right. Preparing for the test doesn't have to be stressful if you follow the right approach. I was able to score 20 out of 20, and here is what worked for me. Read the Discover Canada study guide thoroughly. All pages. You can either buy the book, the physical copy, which I benefited from, or you can also use the online PDF, which is totally free. Read the guide multiple times, front to back, back to front. Take notes of key dates, historical events, and government structures. Make sure you also pay special attention to the information that's in the borders on each of the pages, because this often falls into the questions as well. Anything that is covered in this book can be asked. Once you've familiarized yourself with the study guide, take online practice tests. There are several free websites online that will simulate the test experience. Doing those online practice tests will identify weak areas in your studies that you need to revisit. There are 66 pages in the Discover Canada Study Guide. So my final tip on passing the test is give yourself time. From the time you're invited to take the citizenship test, you're given 30 days in which to complete your test. Studying a little bit every day is going to go a long way. And if reading isn't your strength, the Discover Canada Study Guide is also available in audio form. Once your citizenship test is completed and has been reviewed, you're going to receive an email to attend an oath ceremony, where you'll officially become a Canadian citizen. In the email, they're going to go over everything you need to bring to your in-person oath ceremony, from your PR card to a secondary piece of ID, as well as the invitation letter itself, because that's going to have your seat number and the time of your oath ceremony as well. I received my email 2 weeks before my oath ceremony. So again, make sure you're checking your emails so that you don't miss any important communication, because if you miss your oath ceremony, that's a whole other animal in and of itself. Then the day is finally here, the day of your oath ceremony. Make sure you've prepared all the things that you need to bring ahead of time, and make sure that you arrive to the ceremony on time, so you can really take it in and you can really soak in everything. Invite your friends and your family, and make sure you take lots and lots of pictures, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. It's an emotion-filled moment, raising your hand and taking that oath. Remembering everything that you've been through on your journey, culminating in this moment. And just like that,
you are now a Canadian citizen. Welcome home and welcome to our Canadian family.
and with a smile and a handshake, the judge hands over your citizenship certificate. It is done. As you start your citizenship process, remember, one of the most common mistakes people make is miscalculating their physical presence. Even being 1 day short can lead to your application being rejected. Remember to use the physical presence calculator, because this is going to be the best indicator of how many days you qualify for. And if you are eligible, apply sooner rather than later. Immigration rules can change and delays can happen, so don't risk waiting. And as promised, my timeline. I paid the fee and submitted the application on the 15th of October 2024. I was invited to take my citizenship test on the 23rd of December. I studied for a month and wrote the citizenship test on the 16th of January. I received my invitation to the oath ceremony on the 17th of February, and I officially became a citizen on the 3rd of March. In total, from start to finish, my process took 4 months and 17 days. Finally becoming a Canadian citizen was one of the more rewarding moments of my life.